All right, so here we are, made it to Tahiti. Got a couple hours of sleep, reacquainted with Chumbo. It's a beautiful morning and Chopu's going absolutely insane. Go boy, go Nate! Woo! Any advice? Like, what do you do on this wave?
This is the first time towing here.
First time towing here.
It's just one way, straight to the channel. I don't like to stay deep, to let the rope deep. I prefer to let the rope a little bit forward, and then if I need, I go back a little bit more.
Smart, I like that. I've been going down to Tahiti since I was a young kid, but I'd never gone down specifically for a tow swell.
That swell, they've been talking about it like a week before.
It's always special for me to see a tow swell showing up on the forecast.
You can already hear the chirping, like, biggest swell in the past 5 years, it's gonna be code red. But I never had it on my mind that I was gonna actually go. There was so much going on. I was meant to be taking my family down to Indonesia.
This was gonna be like our first big family trip. It was kind of stressful leading up to it. I was planning everything. And then this was just kind of the cherry on the top. And I was like, you haven't had to deal with any of this. And now you want to go on a surf trip? Like, please just go and just like let me deal with it then.
I'm like, hey, I'll be back in, 1 day. I'm gonna run down there, get some good waves, and come on back. Let's just hope it's gigantic. So we got a flight 3 hours before departure. We're going for it. Full fire drill.
This is it.
Yep.
Where's the rest of the car? Wow.
You good back there? Let's go. Got a couple hours of sleep and Chopu, it's right there. It's just across this little bay. And it's big, and oh, the wave was huge. Ahoy!
Ahoy.
It's overhead.
It's just overhead.
I always make it harder on myself by showing up right before.
That's the way to do it.
I don't know what to expect out there, so putting on everything. So the plan this morning is Lucas Chumbo's gonna pick me up. The last time we towed was Nazare a year ago. The team is back together. Big Tahiti at Chopu is just absolutely phenomenal. Oh my God. Oh.
It's epic.
Chopu is so different from every other wave because it's not measured in height, probably more in increments of fear. I always consider that wave a glorified closeout. You have this giant wall of water that comes out of the abyss, and instead of hitting a gradual slope that projects the wave vertically, it just hits a wall. It allows you to be in the widest, biggest cathedral of a barrel you'll ever be in. That wave is one of the deadliest waves on planet Earth because it's 6 feet deep. It's such an intense place already that anytime there's a big swell, it draws all the best big wave riders from around the world.
medium day, big day. There's no other wave comparable.
I just knew that I wanted to ride the best, biggest barrel I could. And, you know, we were only in Tahiti for 18 hours. And that was definitely enough to get a taste of what it's like to tow into one of the most perfect waves ever.
We know there's a lot of charger, but Tahitians are really good riding their barrels. Remember this.
It was really fun seeing the show that a bunch of the locals were putting on. It always feels good, though, when they look at you to go on a really good one, and you're like, thank you.
Kai, switch.
Wasn't surprised to see Kai Lenny and Lucas were teaming up.
Here we are.
That's
boys.
My wave of the day was towing Lucas Chumbo. If I can't be the one riding the wave, it feels pretty good to tow your partner into a big bomb and hear the channel cheers.
Oh my God,
It was kind of that moment in the day when everything got gridlocked. And that's when Raymana came up and he hinted at me that he wanted to take me somewhere else.
He goes, where are we going? I say, we should go to the right.
It was like, I'm following you. And that's when we took off down the coast. We removed ourselves from the circus and we found ourselves with no one else around.
I know. It's unbelievable. This is a dream come true.
Got us like all waking up like, wow, there's so much more to learn.
By the end of the session, the wind came on and the wave was gone. And it's just amazing how you can be in the right place at the right time and score something you search the whole world for. It's crazy because like not even 24 hours ago I wasn't even considering coming to surf here, and I'm just so glad we pulled the trigger and
Although the swell wasn't as big as what everyone had imagined it was gonna be, there was really, really fun rides. Yeah, no worries. That was sick.
The locals, any break you go around the world, sort of run the show. Somebody like Matahi, who's spent his whole life surfing out there, he's not worried to take risks that most wouldn't even consider. Anytime, you know, his brother Manoa Drele, who's another legend of the spot, tows them into a wave, everyone stops in their tracks. He's one of the best watermen in the world, from his skill below the surface to what he's been doing with hydrofoils. The most unique thing Matahi has brought to hydrofoiling is being the first person to pull into proper barrels. And I mean proper at Chopu.
I love foiling because it completes my day, I would say, you know. When I started foiling, I remember watching Kai Lenny. He really inspired me. He's really pushing the limit there. You know, Kai is good at innovating, you know. He's always one step ahead of the game, so that's just super inspiring.
In the wide world of hydrofoiling, the sport has absolutely exploded into a billion directions. The foil, for me, has been the one sport above all others where athleticism and innovation meet.
So a hydrofoil, boiled down to its most simple parts, is an airplane that flies underwater with a post connected to a board that you stand on and ride.
Sun came out, it's perfect time to go foiling, just out in front of my local spot. Conditions look perfect for the hydrofoil.
Because you're up off the water, the surface texture doesn't matter that much. The reduced drag opens the door to, okay, wait a minute now. The math has completely changed on how you ride a wave. What does that mean in terms of size, speed? Trying to figure out what the limits were now, because they were different.
So the foil was this evolution that started as basically the funniest toy you could ever have.
The early days of foiling, it kind of all originated from the air chair.
Now the latest thing is the air chair. We're going for it with big air spins, and it's lots of fun.
Brett Lickle was the guy that discovered the air chair. He got a hold of one and showed it to the strapped crew, which consisted of Laird, Dave Kalama, Rush Randall. They decided to take the chair off and stand on the thing.
We started trying to figure out how to stand on it, how to surf on it, and in the process, hopefully trying to figure out how not to kill yourself.
Their whole goal was to ride the biggest waves ever ridden. You just kind of have to wonder, where would the sport be? Where would even surfing be if the strapped crew didn't see this hydrofoil and then push the boundaries of what's been done?
Kai has now taken that mantle from what Laird and I did, and that is continue to push the realms of what big wave surfing can be.
The limits of the foil haven't been reached in so many ways. I want to push the boundaries of what you could put a hydrofoil in. How big of a wave can you ride with it? Every single time you take a foil into a giant wave, you learn something. The years compounding on one another of going to Nazare, going to Jaws, the evolution of it's been really slow.
The foil I have is meant for really big waves, but I don't know if it's meant for this big of wave. The foil's not tuned to me quite yet. If it's not balanced, what ends up happening is you get too much lift and you explode. I mean, the difference between this foil and the others is this is like a next generation big wave foil. Based on what I learned from this is how I'll develop the next one.
The current issue with the hydrofoils is that you can get going so fast, and from the water hitting the foil, there's so much friction that it actually boils the water. That then creates a vacuum underwater of air. Once there's a vacuum of air around the foil, it loses lift because it's no longer going through the denser water and it drops out. It's not exactly there yet, but it is so close to being insane.
Finally time for a big wave foil to work exceptionally well and maybe even be the best equipment choice over any type of board.
Myself and Laird essentially got Kai into foiling way back in the day. It was so evident that his passion was more than just, oh, this is fun, I'm playing like a normal kid. He loved it. And when you have that love and that passion that is so deep and you can see it, anything's possible. Really, anything.
For 25 years, everyone has known you could ride the biggest waves ever ridden on a hydrofoil. In some crazy roundabout way, it almost took us riding the smallest waves in the world, like downwinding, to learn what we need for the biggest waves.
What keeps me up at night with the hydrofoil is not being able to ride the big waves the way I can on all the other equipment I have. There's waves and places to ride that haven't been ridden yet, and the foil opens up all those spots. It would be incredible to ride the biggest swell ever ridden.
Okay, let's go. Go get Daddy. Daddy, come here.
Hello?
Go give it to Daddy. Okay, here you go. This one.
Everyone has like a different path they're on, a different quest. There's always a fork in a road with every big chapter, every change in one's life. And I wanted to be a young enough dad that I could do everything with my kids and show them my passion for the ocean. Family is the most important thing in the world, and to be able to experience all these amazing things with them, nothing is better. I've always come from the school of do 100% at everything you do. Now it's about putting it all into that one powerful moment. If the conditions are right and I have the opportunity, I can do something I've never done before.